Okay, so I'm inside After Effects, and the first thing you want to do when you want to start a new project is to create a new composition. So you can go to Composition, New Composition, or you can press Control N on keyboard. All right, so here you have the composition settings. You can choose your composition name. I'll name it Basics of After Effects. All right, here you have a bunch of presets you can choose from. You can keep it custom for now. The dimensions 1080 by 1080, and the frame rate is 30. You can choose whatever frame rate you want to go with, 24 or 30, whatever you want. All right, press OK. And now a new composition has been created inside this project panel. This project panel is the home of all your assets and compositions that you will be creating in your project. All right, now let's create a new shape layer inside this composition. You can go to this rectangle tool, press and hold, and you will have a bunch of options you can choose from. I will choose rectangle tool, go over here, click and drag, and make sure to press shift and hold to make it a proportional shape. All right, let me fill it with color white, and let's remove the stroke, I don't need it. All right, so here I have my shape. You can access the scaling by pressing S on keyboard. Here you have the scaling properties. You can scale it up and down. And the rotation, you can press R and you can rotate it left and right. But as you can see now, the rotation is not happening from the center, and the scaling as well is not scaling from the center. That's because our anchor point is not centered inside the object. So what you can do is you can press Y on keyboard, press Ctrl and hold, and you can drag it to snap it in the center of the object. Or you can use the shortcut on keyboard. You can press Ctrl Command Home on Mac or Ctrl Alt Home on Windows. So now I have my shape. I can scale it now, and it's scaling from the center, and I can rotate it from the center as well. And you can press P on keyboard to access the position properties. You can move left and right, up and down. All right, so now I will add a simple animation to this shape layer, or this square. Okay, I select the layer and press P on keyboard to access the position properties. Let's make the square smaller. All right. Okay, you go over this clock icon. Click this clock icon, and a new keyframe has been created. Okay, you can use the plus and sign buttons on keyboard to zoom in and out on your timeline, or you can use this slider over here. All right, let's move this over here. Okay, now I move the timeline to the left, to the right, and let's move this shape over here, and a new keyframe has been created as well. Okay, now if I want to preview the animation, first I will need to limit the work area of my timeline by dragging the slider over here, or I can press N on keyboard to limit my work area. N is to end the work area, and B is to begin the work area, or to preview the animation that you want. So, okay, this is helpful to limit your work area, especially when you have a complex animation scene and heavy layers. So sometimes you need to preview a specific part of the animation without taking so much time. You can press space on keyboard to preview your animation, and here it is. All right, so you can make as well your animation faster if you want by making the two keyframes closer to each other. So you can drag this over here. So now your animation is faster. And you can make it slower as well by making them far from each other, like this. All right, so as you can see now, the animation looks stiff since it's a linear movement. And here we add the easy ease. So in a nutshell, easy ease makes the animation looks less linear. So you can select the two keyframes, right click, go to keyframe assistant, and you can choose easy ease. Or you can select all the keyframes and press F9 on keyboard. So here you have your easy ease. So it begins, so it has some momentum before it starts, and then at the end it slows down. All right, so now I will need to duplicate this layer. So I want to make one with easy ease and one without easy ease. So let's select this layer, and you can click Control, or you can press Control on keyboard and click on the keys. So it's back to normal without easy ease. And the second one, it has the easy ease. So what I can do, I'll put the above layer. Okay, so I will show you the difference between easy ease and without easy ease. All right, so the one at the bottom, the one that doesn't have any easy ease, just linear movement. And the one above, it has the easy ease. All right, now let's group these two layers together. In After Effects, we call it pre-comp. So you can select these two layers, right-click, pre-comp. You can name your pre-comp whatever you want. Let's name it two squares. All right. Here you can check the option you want, like adjust composition duration to the time span of the selected layers. I will check it. Here you can check this box as well to open new composition when you create your pre-comp. I will leave it as is for now. You can press OK. Okay, so now I have my two layers in one comp. All right, so now I can duplicate as well this comp by pressing Ctrl D on keyboard. Now I have two comps. You can drag this comp, scale it down, can put it over here. All right. All right, so this is a quick glance at the pre-comps and how you can utilize them in your projects. Okay, now let's see what parenting is and how we can use it. Parenting allows you to easily control a layer or number of layers by linking them to a common parent. Okay, let's say I need to rotate this object. These two. Okay, before I start, you can check this comp layer. It's called collapse transformation. When you check it, the comp fits the shape dimension. So see the difference. Okay, now it's taking the whole comp. After checking it, it fits the just the dimensions of these two squares, and you can center the anchor point as well. All right, so let's say I need to rotate this layer, and I need this layer as well to follow the rotation of this layer. So first I need to apply a rotation animation to this one. Press R to access the rotation properties. Click this clock icon, move the timeline to the right, and maybe something like this. Let's preview it. Okay, maybe I'll make it longer. Now I need this layer to follow the rotation of this layer. What I can do is I can go to this parent pick whip, click and drag to this layer. Alright, so now this layer is moving the rotation of this layer. Okay, one more thing. If you need to access keyframes that are applied to a layer, you can click on the layer and press U on keyboard. Okay, so now let's see how we can export. First, make sure you have Media Encoder opened. Go to Composition, add to Media Encoder queue. Go over here. You can choose whatever settings you want. Format H.264, preset high bitrate. Everything else is good. You can choose the location. And finally you press this Start Queue. Alright. Or you can choose the Add to Render queue without using Media Encoder. You can choose your settings over here. Output module. You can choose your format, H.264. And by the way, in After Effects 2023, they added this format H.264, which is good. Press OK, and here you can choose the location you want. Save, and you press render. All right.